Hi guys, welcome to the unofficial and not comprehensive at all guide to Seoul. I've been living here for a while now, and I also came here a few years ago for 3 months before moving here this year. So I feel qualified enough to make this kind of guide. I can give you some tips and show you some places that you don't see everywhere worth visiting. This is not meant to be the best guide out there, but it's meant to help you if you come here. And also I just want to show off the places I really like, because why not? As an obvious disclaimer, there is so much in Seoul that I haven't explored or experienced it, and I am aware of that. I know there is a ton of Seoul video out there, like cafe hopping, vlogs in general, but this is meant to be a guide, so it's a bit more in-depth on the informative aspect. Ready? Let's go. The areas I've been living in Seoul are Mapo and Socho. I lived in Mapo when I went to Sogang University, Hannam-dong, which is close to Hongdae station, while Socho is where I live now. It's closer to Gangnam and Shinsa. Now I am on the southern part of the river. Before I was on the northern part of the river. So it's like I've been tasting the university life, and now I'm deep with work and responsibilities. So Hongdae and Shincheon are university areas, which means that most likely you will find cheaper places, especially around your university. I will make a Seoul guide specifically for students with tips and places that are very cheap. This is a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, Hongdae and Shincheon are very nice. They are for students but also very touristy, and for some reason there is a high concentration of animal cafe there. I don't know why every animal cafe or weird cafe is in Hongdae or in Shincheon. It's very popular now for a good reason, I think. The Samoyed cafe, those fluffy clouds are running towards you, and I feel like it would be your best day ever. And if you have to die, you better die this way. It's like heaven. When you open the heaven's gate, whatever, you see those Samoyeds running towards you, and you're like, oh my god, literally. And then we have Yeonnam, is basically behind Hongdae station, full of cafe, Instagram worthy, hipster. And if you go to these side alleys, you'll find a lot of food places, barbecue, chicken, soju and beer. You will never starve no matter what, so never worry about that. It's the same for Socho, and gangnam is quite cute. Same goes for Shinsa and Apgujeong Rodeo. They are on different lines, but they're all close walking distance. They're just food streets everywhere. There are cafes everywhere. There are places where people get drunk everywhere. It's just food everywhere you go. The reason why I'm telling you this is that the vibe is very different. If you go to Shincheon and Hongdae, you can tell it's more younger, I would say, people, university lifestyle. While if you go to Shinsa or Apgujeong, it's more older. I don't mean old people, I mean just probably not freshman university. The vibe is gonna be different because the target is different. Now, first category is gonna be clubs or lack of thereof. I'm more of a bar person, so long story short, clubs are not my thing. I mean, been there, done that. Not my style. I don't have any specific recommendation in terms of clubs. If you just hang out in Hongdae, there are so many international students, so I'm sure that wherever you see a line, you can try and go. There are some famous places in Apgujeong Rodeo. One is called Avec, and the other one is called COC. Famous people also go there, so a place where a lot of people go. Everywhere you go from Thursday to Saturday, it's gonna be madness. So I'm sure you will have the time to experience the club culture in Seoul. Now, on a more relaxed note, we have museums and art galleries. Museums here are pretty cheap or free, like the Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art. For the standard exhibition, which usually changes every season anyway, it's 4,000 won, but there are some special exhibitions that are either free or you have to pay same price, sometimes even 2,000 won, but you have to book in advance. It's not about the price, it's about the minimum amount of people they allow daily to see the exhibition. Then we have the history and art museums, huge building. I've been there a couple of times because it's very pretty. Like, even the area in Yongsan, it's nice to walk around. The actual museum has a picnic area. You can have lunch at the convenience store right outside the museum, and then you bring your stuff to the picnic area where you can just stay and enjoy your time there. Now, I'm not sure that this counts as a museum, but the actually DDP, Dongdaemun Design Plaza, where they held the fashion week all the time. They also have some halls that are for temporary exhibition. Recently they had one about Tim Burton. Now I don't know what's going on there. There is always something going on there. And then we have the Lium Museum. I think it's my favorite museums of the one mentioned, just because you can tell it's very curated. The way the art pieces are installed, I mean, it makes sense because it's not a national museum, it's private, so the ticket is much higher. It's 12,000 won. Yeah, if I could only pick one, I think it would be the Lium. But before the Lium, it was the MMCA, just because it's in a very pretty area. It's nearby Anguk Station, where the Gyeongbokgung is, so the Royal Palace, and then Anguk is nearby the Hanok Village. It's such a nice place to not only go to the museum, but also walk and overall spend a day there. But then I saw the Lium and it's more my taste, and it's in the Hannam-dong area, so very close to the river if you want to go there and have a picnic or just a walk. It's also basically walking distance from Itaewon. I mean, both are in very good areas, but they're also very different. As for art galleries, usually if you live here, you probably will get some ads on the Instagram. At least that was my case. Some of the most famous are the A-Kunst Gallery, which is a new opening and it's contemporary art. To be honest, you either like it or not. Another one, it's called Picnic, which I think it's the case where the art gallery is inside slash nearby a cafe. Now, little coffee break. Here we go with some of my favorite places, finally. In no particular order, as an overall disclaimer, these places are my favorite because they are also in some of my favorite areas. So they basically are in places where you can go for the coffee and also walk, because I like to walk. If you don't like walking, then any place is fine. I've been to places you literally just go there for the coffee. Usually these are more rooftop, then you look around and there is literally nothing around, so you just have to take the bus again and go somewhere else. I just never go back to those places. It's just a one-time experience, which is fine, but this is not in the guide. So in Shinsa area, or more precisely Garosugil, we have Milestone Cafe. They also have a branch in Hannam-dong, but I haven't been there. I always go to the one in Garosugil just because I really like their flat white and dessert. And I remember the first time I went there, I was surprised about how good their oat milk tasted. I don't know why, but I remember I went there, I had the flat white and I was like, whoa, I can feel the oat milk and I actually really like it. It's just a place I had to mention, and it's good for pictures. Then in the same area there is Bamboo. I really like it when I have to edit or do something because, oh my god, those chairs, they're so soft. My butt just sinks into the chairs and I never want to get up again. They are so comfortable and so soft that literally I can edit for hours and my butt doesn't hurt. They have a lot of food, like huge pieces of food, which I never tried because I always go there by myself and I'm never that hungry. I don't know, it just felt like a waste, and honestly some of the things look too much buttery for my taste, but they are always sold out of whatever they bake, so I guess it's good. The coffee is good and they have a lot of drinks in general, and I tried different types of coffee and I had never been disappointed. I don't know how to explain that, but besides how comfortable and soft and cushiony the chairs are, the ratio between, you know, the height of the table and the height of the chair is perfect, which I learned it's something you shouldn't overlook if you're looking for a place where you want to stay for a long time. And then they also have kind of a little terrace outside, which in summer it's just so good. You're basically in the middle of Garosugils and you can just people watch and journal. It's just different. Moving on to Sonsu / Seoul Forest area. Honestly, every place there, it's so aesthetic. It's basically just one cafe / eating place, one after another. During the weekend, everywhere is just packed. You might think, how can these places all be in the same area and still run a business? They do run a business, especially when it's warmer, so spring / summer. You literally cannot find a place anywhere. You are forced to just get a coffee on the go and look for a bench or a free spot in the Seoul Forest. These are some of the places I tried and enjoyed. I went here with my friends and the Earl Grey cake was delicious, so good. Then I went here with my sister, cinnamon roll place. I would say more roll than cinnamon because they also have salty options. Good, highly recommended. Coffee, not so good. The interior design on point. Then I also went to Scene. They're always filming something here. I guess the colors of the interior design are very soothing for my eyes. Not too far from there, there is Frolla. In Italian, Frolla is the pastry where you can get in the south, but you go there and it's like just coffee. The Italian desserts they have, it's literally a deconstructed tiramisu. So it was a bit confusing for me at first, but I love that place. I'm always there because I really like the vibe, and they're always coming up with seasonal coffee. So good. I have so many clips from there because I just go there whenever I can. On to my favorite area. We're moving to Hannam-dong. You just get lost with all the options. It's insane. But one of my recent picks is Anthracite, which is this huge place. One of these 3 floors, it's literally a jungle. There is a huge area in the center with plants, and they have music for plants. They have the speakers in the leaves or something, and I was like, okay. I remember before even knowing the name of the place, for me it was the Big Dog Cafe, because for the area they have outside, probably it's just a place where people gather and I didn't know. Everyone with a big dog, big fluffy dog, just gathered there in the afternoon, and every time I would pass by I would be like, oh my god, this is a Big Dog Cafe. I'm talking like Labrador, Samoyed, Husky, a Golden Retriever. How can you be sad? You just go there and you want to join. Same area we have Circle. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I like it. I really do. That's why it's in this list. But my major issue with that place, it's a workout to get there. It's heel like this. I'm not even joking. It's literally like this. I mean, it's worth it because they have a special menu. They have something that they call a pancaron, which is a macaron concept thing, but with pancake fluffiness. And it's very good. Like, genuinely good. Despite the heel, I've been there for the pancaron more than once, and I was never disappointed. My sister had the chocolate one, surprisingly good. Then I had the Earl Grey pancaron, and I had a couple of other ones that I don't remember. I probably had all of them. Going more towards Itaewon, there is this place that I have to mention because it's a vegan option, and it's called Plant. It's a delicious place. Even if it wasn't vegan, I would have still recommended this place. I never had something in that place that I didn't like, genuinely. And I'm talking brunch, dessert, drinks. That's it. Coffee. I had the best chai latte with my cinnamon stick, and it was so good. Their burgers are so delicious. I also had their lentils salad, something like that. So good. The portions are huge. You cannot finish that. The desserts, every time they have something lemon based, raspberry or any berry or matcha, I want more. I cannot get enough. You have to go there, please. I think worth mentioning is one of my favorite areas. These places are not necessarily good, they're just functional. They serve the purpose of going there for the pictures on the terrace to have a beautiful view of Seoul from Namsan Tower area and enjoy your time. For your information, I would rather go to Pound or the one from Itaewon class because King Royal, it's very pretty, but it's so narrow, too uncomfortable. If I just have a coffee, yes, because I can walk with my cup and make sure that I'm not spilling anything anywhere. But I had lunch there and I was with my tray and it was a nightmare. Now, moving on to proper food time, when I'm telling you that I've been to Minhyuk twice in a week just because I love the food so much. I'm not lying. And I was with my friend Avril. Hi Avril. Actually, she knew the place. We went together the first time and then she was leaving Seoul and we were like, okay, I think we should have some pho or just feels like comfort food. We went there again. We went there on Monday and then we went there on Friday. It's literally that good. They nail a simple thing like soup, broth, more than soup. This is the most delicious soup I ever had in Seoul. The first time I tried, we had a bunch of stuff from the menu, which by the way, they have very few options in terms of food. When I first tasted the soup, I was like, It's like La Petite Madeleine de Proust. That's the concept that they have in Ratatouille. When you have food and you are reminded of something from your childhood, that's the kind of feeling I had when I tried that. The flavors, how warm it was, and it was summer when I went there the first time, so it's not like I did need a hot soup, but it was perfect. Chef kiss. The outside, it's like a Hanok style house. It's a Korean rice noodle restaurant. They use fresh ingredients, and trust me, you can tell straight away. The broth is made with beef, chicken and mushrooms, and it was light, not crazy at all, just so comforting, and it's not even expensive. In the same area we have this place. It's a fish and seafood place, and it's in a traditional old style Korean house, and you are sitting on the wooden floor, few tables around, and it just feels so cozy. It's just a good experience. Even if you want to bring someone who has never been to Seoul, if you go there, different way to enjoy your lunch or dinner. I really love the retro vibes. Even the music was matching the vibe. In this area there is really a lot going on, so I've tried other places and they're all good options. Another place I really liked, right near one of the exits of the Seoul Forest, is Halmoni Recipe. Oh my god, it's meat. Honestly, I don't really like red meat, so if I have it, it better be good, and this was so good. It was easy on my stomach, like I didn't have any problem digesting. It's definitely a place I would recommend. I cannot not talk about Gnocchi Bar. It's an Italian place, but it's the only Italian place I tried that actually makes good food, not fusion style. The bread is good. I love their pesto. When you taste it, you can tell it's handmade. Interior design is on point. They do have these huge stone table in the center. Everything is very artsy, and you can see the kitchen. Now you should know that I never look for Italian food when I go abroad. I never look for. I'm okay with trying it, but I'm never craving Italian food just because I like food in general. So wherever I go, I can always find something that I can enjoy without any problem, like regardless of which part of the world I am. I've been cooking some pasta at home at the beginning because it's easy to make and even the ingredients were easy to find. But once I run out of my first pack of pasta, I never bought it again because I never felt the need to. Like, I don't care. This is to say that when I went there, I was so surprised by how good everything I tried was. From the main dishes to the bread, I highly recommend the place. When I taste the bread and I could taste that it was different, I was like, oh my god, I made the right choice coming here. It's not something you can take for granted here in Korea because they put butter in everything and everything is just sweet. You can almost never find something that is purely salty. Even with fried chicken. French fries, no salt. Everything is just on the sweet side, which is sometimes very annoying. So when I found that the bread here was actually good, and in general everything I tried was not sweet to match the Korean taste, I was surprised, and I am happy to recommend this place. And also the atmosphere, it's more fancy looking. It can feel intimidating from the outside because it looks a bit fancy or more sophisticated, but actually people there are very welcoming and chill, I guess. You need to make a reservation online because they're always fully booked for some reason. In terms of cocktail bars, I really don't think there is one place you have to go. There are a lot of wine bars and cocktail bars. I tried a lot, but I really don't have something that was particularly striking to me. In general, for some wine and cafe, you can usually go to Itaewon and have cocktails as well. And by the way, Itaewon kebab. If you know, you know. And if you don't know where to go, you can either follow a line, whatever you see a line, you can tell that it's either a new place or it's just good. My final tip in general for finding any place, if you feel more adventurous and you want to try something different from this list, would be just going on Instagram for real and look for the hashtag in Korean, the name of the place, and either cafe. If you want something for dinner, it's matjip. Don't worry, you will never starve in Korea anywhere. You can have a bad dinner or a bad cocktail or a bad brunch, but I'm pretty sure you will not starve. So luckily you are in a place where social media is huge, so you can trust Instagram for that. This is something that even Koreans do, but since there are a lot of people uploading with these hashtags, probably you don't want to do right before going out. You want to make your research in advance because you can really get lost in the hashtag deep hole. You might end up wasting your day and time looking for an option and without actually going anywhere. Another tip, if you want to cross-check the information, find your place on Instagram and then look for the directions on Naver Maps or Kakao Maps. They also have pictures and reviews. It's like Google, but it's used by Koreans, so you can usually trust the reviews. So that's all I had to say, I think, for now. I hope you enjoyed. If you have a first-hand experience of one of the places I mentioned, please let me know about your experience, because it might be different, but it might be a very interesting conversation starter. Thank you so much for being here. I talk to you soon. Bye.